Hope you are doing well. Today I'm going to show you how to make validations in Node.js. So firstly, the validation is just the way of validating the input data that we are going to send the server. So as you know, you can't send the unvalidated data on database because sometimes it can cause you some troubles in your project. Like if we are assuming to have like an email and a user have to sign up with email, but on that case, a user want to send the string which is not email. So in this case, you have to notify her or him that the email sent on the database does not exist, it's not in the form of image. So like another example, if you need like your system to have a strong password, so you need to validate always the password that being sent to the server. If it is strong, then if it is not strong, you notify her or him to modify his password by making it strong by adding numbers, capital letters, small letters, special characters, so something like that. And also like sometimes we have to input like the integers input. So in that case, our request must contain the integers. So like here, as we have age, but think about when the user try to send like something which is not integer. Yes, like he or she may typing error by entering the letters instead of the typing the integer or the number. So in this case, our validator always checks the requested body or the request that are coming if it is meeting our expectation. So today I'm going to show you how you have to do this. I want to show you like this. When you come here on your project, as usual, first of all, you're gonna create a new folder called Middleware under all this folder. So this middleware is the folder that is going to hold all those files that will be validating our routes or our request. So in this middleware, you're gonna create new file called validator.js and datachecker.js. After creating these files, I'm going to tell you firstly the dependency that you are going to run. You are going to put here a new dependence. You're gonna add a new dependence called express-validator. So you're gonna install express-validator as a new dependence. As you know, you always write npm I express-validator. So first of all, you have to install this dependence, and after installing this dependence, you're gonna have access to those function validations. So after installing this dependency, you're gonna come into your middleware in this validator.js file. Then you have to import check. This is a function that always check if the validation is matching perfectly, and you're gonna also import this function validation is that or from the express validator. After doing this, you're gonna create a class validator and close it here and also export. Then inside this validator, into this class validator, we're gonna create first of all the function that will output the error message in case we detect or we trigger the error in our learning. So this function is there just to output, to check if our validator has catch or has detected an error performed. So in case there is an error, our validate input always will respond the error message by showing us this is the kind of the message has been detected or has been catched. So you're gonna create this function. First of all, it's ending here, so it has a request, response, and next function. So const errors equal to validate result, so you pass here request. So if no error, it is empty. So in case there is error, so in this stage we will pop up our messages error that has been catched. But in case there is no error detected, so we will return next. So make sure your if statement is ending from here. Then if this fails to return true, in this case we will return next function. Then after having this, I wanted first of all to set some loads on these inputs on my sign up. So that's why I started by making this new account loads. This function is there to set the rules that must be fulfill all those rules. So in case a user wants to make the request on our platform, the email should be always meeting this quality. So means that in case this is the function of express-validator. So in case it is not email, this function will return this message. So that's why we are having the input, the value of request. Then we also have here a message that will be displayed in case a user tries to put the value that's not matching the email's validity or the email's loads. So in this case, first name should be a string, or should not be having a special character, because as we know, does no name have a special character as the same as last name. And here we have gender. Gender should be male or female. So in case a user try to input another thing that is different from this, our rules will be detecting that gender has the problem. So in this case, they will pop up you a message that gender is invalid. So but even the phone should be a mobile phone, yes, and also age should be integer. This function means that this variable should be always integer. So and also we are having here password, and I put it here. A password should be always a strong password. So when we are talking about a strong password, it's when like a password must be always greater than 8 characters, and should not be more or less than 8 characters. And the password must always contain the special character, must contain numbers and some alphanumeric characters, and also this strong password must contain a capital letter. Yes. So in case a user try to sign up with a weak password, so this message will be displayed by telling him or her that the password must always be strong. So after having this, after creating this function in your class validator, so I want you to go in the layouts, because this middleware always is being performed inside the layout, where we always pass through this middleware before we go to controller. As you know, always the request that reaching on the controller must always be validated, so that we can't send to the database the data which is not well validated. So here is my where I imported the first of all, you have to import the class validator here. After importing the class validator, so from the middleware validator, so then you're gonna come here inside your layout. After the layout name, so you're gonna put first of all the validator.new account rules. This is the rules that we set it before in the middleware validator.js. Then after setting the rules, this is the this validate input always, this is the function that we call to output or to pass to the next to the controller in case there is no error detected. So you're gonna have this means when this function detects an error, it will pass it to this validate input just to display the error. But in case there is no error, this function will always call the next function. When it calls the next function, it will pass to the user controller. So let's first of all we have to test this by npm learn dev start. So for those who do not have NodeMoon, so you have to install NodeMoon for better performance, because NodeMoon always restart the server in case you don't like repeating everything by restarting the server every time. So NodeMoon can help you. So let's go to the output. As you see here, we are having, I want to just send like invalid email so we can see if there is error. Perfect. Now you see here it's an error. Please, your email is invalid because our email do not have a domain. So we must put here @ so that it can have a domain to be valid. So I can also like change this password to this so we can see if it can. Yes, password must be strong because this is not a strong password. So think about again, if my first name I put here there like a special character, you know, like this. So yeah, they will tell me that your first name have a special character. So it means that my first name should not be containing a special character. As the same as when I want like to send something which is not gender. In this case also I will get I'll be notified that gender should be always valid. Means the gender is invalid. So even this, so it can work. So after having this error, I can collect where my inputs like this. After having this, my email should be valid. I have to add at Gmail, and this gender should be valid. I put female. Then in the case I said now it's success because all the validations is perfect. So that's how we make validation in Node.js. So I'm going to come back by showing you how you can use like extra function like a data checker, like in case you want to make like to set the rules that always the user must have like at the edge above 18 in order to access your system. So in case she or he has when she is under 18, so it must be illegal. In that case, you will just notify him or her error. So allow me to come back by showing you data checker class.